right.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. My name is Jake, and I'm joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Excellent. Ready to go. Playoffs. My sadness that the fantasy year being done, that's subsided. I've moved through that stage of grief.
Yeah.
So now I'm just excited for the playoffs.
All right. Great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good stuff. We're live on YouTube right now, youtube.com/Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We have Adam with us, and then he lost his internet connection just now, literally when we pressed the start button. So hopefully
they're not going to believe us. They're not going to believe us.
At the beginning of the video, I just switched it to where it's just you and me on here. But at the beginning of the video, you see Adam down there. But it could just be a stock image. Oh,
okay.
We're jumping back.
He's coming back.
We're gonna be bouncing. We're gonna be bouncing. Adam, say hello to the people.
I have returned.
Yes.
Well, for all you history nerds out there, it's a Douglas MacArthur quote when he returned to the Philippines. But here we are. Coach is back.
The coach is back, and he's here. Yeah, I mean, Adam, it's good to have. How you doing, man?
Good. It's been a busy few weeks. Been battling a cold bug that's been going around. I'm sure there's a lot of people sick listening, maybe, but hanging in there. Still teaching the youth of America. So.
Still teaching the youth.
Well, you sound great.
You look great too, even though your camera's not on.
Yep. I will turn it on so people can see. All right, there we go.
There he is, guys. He's real. He's a real guy.
Not a paid actor.
Not a paid actor.
I love it.
All right, Jordan, you want to? Oh, jeez.
Not a paid.
Right. Jordan, you want to go ahead and?
Sure do. Here we go.
Welcome back to Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. My name is Jake, and I'm joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Wonderful. Ready to go. Playoffs.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
We're also joined by our other friend, our OG member. He's been missing for a hot sec, but he's been busy. But he's braving the internet. Adam, how are you?
Hey, good. I am happy to be back with you two fine people. OG member, yep. Happy to be a part of the podcast. I'm going to try to be a part of it more moving forward. Try to suck it up, as they say.
Suck it up.
Be part of the family again.
You have to come defend your playoff prediction takes, because otherwise I was going to trash them without you on. So I'm glad you're here, Adam.
Also, Adam, our book it episodes next week, and you still have some from earlier.
Fantastic.
So, you can only do so much about bad internet, So, we appreciate you coming here and being here.
Thank you. I will try to hop in if I fall out of here. So
yeah, I have everything ready. If all of a sudden you go blank, you just hop out, hop back in.
Perfect.
All right, boys. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot Adam was coming, so I don't have a game for us.
That's okay. We got some news we got to talk about.
We have a lot of news. Oh, Adam, how'd you do in fantasy this year?
I don't want to talk about it.
Jeez, guys,
give good advice
can I just say? Say that when I asked Jordan the same thing, he was like, "Ugh, not the best," and I was like, "Guys."
Third place
I
finishes. I was third place finishes.
Hey, in a world of dishonesty, we got to be honest to the people. I am a great advice giver. I did not follow through on the execution this year.
Yeah. We're here. We're honest. Jesus. We're live on YouTube right now. YouTube.com/Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Jamie's in there saying what's up. Don's asking if the Bucs will beat the Eagles. We'll get into that. Hot take, Joey says all NFC home teams will win this week. Adam's alive. Ooh. How exciting. Don has a little story here, boys. He met Baker Mayfield this past week. He was at the Bucs game, and he was texting me, and he went down there and asked, and he said he legit talked to me for like a minute or two. It was super cool.
Wow.
He said, I'm a bit more sold on him as a Buck now. A lot of welcome back Adams. And we're going to talk about some retirements. And then, yo, Jake, slow down on the intro, pal. Sounds like a silver-tongued snake oil salesman with that speedy chatter. All right. Well, we appreciate that.
More honest, buddy.
Hey, all feedback's good feedback,
And Joey says, whose has 2 thumbs and won the Next Step Fantasy League title? This guy. And Jamie says he won over 2,000 this year, including a second place in an 850-person tournament. That's awesome.
Ooh,
Wow.
Jamie, that's huge.
That's
That's
huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, youtube.com/next step fantasy football podcast if you want to be part of this this chat. It's a good time. Also did want to mention that our survey is pinned at the top of the the top of the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, I'm just talking over myself. The silver tongue thing got me all. It is pinged to the top of this live stream. If you haven't filled it out, fill it out. We're giving away QB1 Denver Bronco Jarrett Stidham jersey. And then we're working on a whole
Signed.
bunch
Signed.
and we're working on a whole bunch of other kind of giveaways, so that's fun. So
Think of
yeah,
when he wins MVP, how cool that will be that you have his autograph, people.
it's his Auburn jersey as well.
His Auburn jersey. Ooh.
When I pulled it out, the whole time I was thinking, oh, it's when he was on the Patriots. That's it's not as fun, but college jersey works out. It's timeless.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep.
Jordan, talk about the news. Sorry, Joey says, slow down, pal. Syllables are important.
Wow. There's a feisty chat.
Jeez.
Chat today. Adam, could you please intro me since you're here?
It is Jordan with the news.
Thank you.
God,
so
I missed
sweet.
that.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Relax,
speaking-
that's copyrighted.
Yeah. So speaking of college football,
Yeah.
just quick thing that's worth calling out. And Alabama college football,
Yeah.
Auburn, Alabama. Nick Saban announced he's retiring from college football. So not NFL really, but still, what a career.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I'm going to defer to Adam on that because Adam openly talks about how he prefers college football, right?
I do.
Over the NFL,
just
so.
the tradition, the pageantry. Obviously, the college game's changing nowadays. But as far as like whether you love him or hate him, I view him as like the Bill Belichick of college football. Even though he didn't have the fall off that Bill had recently, but what a legend. I mean, he dabbled with the NFL, realized he stayed in his lane. He wasn't an NFL coach, and then he built just a dynasty that I think it'll be hard to beat someday. For another team to replicate what Alabama did. Clemson tried, and now they didn't do it, right? So as far as a guy that just changed the game and brought a little old school with the new, I mean, he hired Tommy Rees this last year, keeping that new school offense in there, but just amazing career.
Yeah, I mean, he's the greatest of all time. Like, you think of, other great college football coaches, right? And you get think of Debo, right? And he's not even close. When it comes to national champions, you think Kirby Smart? He's not even close. Like, oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna let Adam. Or I'm gonna let Jordan take over. Yeah, we're losing Adam, so just give him a sec. He'll jump back in. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I think Nick Saban, we just have to call it out. I mean, he's just, when a legend in a sport retires or something happens, we got to call it out.
Yeah.
But on the topic of head coaches, let's switch back to the NFL. A wild ride. I think the biggest news, in my opinion, is Pete Carroll out as the Seahawks coach. To me, that's the biggest surprise of all of the head coaching
I would agree.
changes.
I think that's the biggest one. Is this a retirement though? That was my thought. Like,
he had said, like, in an interview, he intends to be back and stuff like that. So it seems like it's a little bit of a trying to force him out with a little bit of grace, because obviously of how much, like, he turned that whole franchise around and led it for the last, decade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely doesn't seem like that was his choice.
do you think
But he's 70.
Do you think he retires? Or no, I'm sorry. Do you think he coaches this week or this year?
Go somewhere else? No. I don't think anyone would.
I think this is a Sean Payton situation. If he's gonna keep coaching, he's gonna be gone for a year, and then he'll come back.
You saying he's gonna come back when he's 74?
Well, I don't. I don't.
think he'll
But I'm
come
just
back.
saying,
I don't
if
think
he
he'll
comes
come
back, that's when they'll do it.
Yeah. So I think that is sad to see. I think it makes sense. I mean, like, you got to switch with the times, and like, you don't want a Bill Belichick situation where you stay too long, right?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
Like if Belichick retired 2 years ago, we would have a very different outlook on it.
Do you think them trading Russell Wilson away just kind of put the nail in the coffin there? Because I mean, that whole thing has just been a debacle for everybody.
No, but I think my hunch is that they're gonna like do a revamp.
Yeah.
Like, they'll need a new young guy. Like they're talking about a couple of years of like trying to turn the ship, and it'll probably get worse before it gets better. And so I'm sure they just want a new coach.
Sure. Joey in the
Probably
chat.
a young offensive mind.
Yep. Joey in the chat has a really good idea, and he said Pete Carroll will be an advisor like Bruce Arians was after he stepped away from coaching. Then he'll quietly ride away chewing all the bubble gum.
Love it. So anyway, another legend, I think, Pete Carroll, like to do it in like college football and then again to do it in the NFL. I don't my college football knowledge isn't that deep, but I don't think there's very many people who have done that, right? To do it at the highest level in both places. But other coaching things, Mike Vrabel out as the Titans coach, which to me also another surprise.
He is such a scapegoat in this. 100%. There's no reason he should be gone.
He'll get hired somewhere else. For sure.
Adam, what are your thoughts on Mike Vrabel being fired?
Unbelievable. Unacceptable. Greatest leader man in the field as far as available head coaches. I'm glad I'm back with a vengeance. With RG3, he went on a rant on Facebook today. I saw it. What an unbelievable blunder by the Titans. That was a mistake.
What a blunder. We just talked about Pete Carroll, being let go. I think it could be, maybe a retirement situation. But, who are you getting that's better than Mike Vrabel?
Right. A young guy that's hip and cool, I guess.
Ooh, wow.
I don't know.
Vrabel to the Packers for defensive coordinator? I would love that.
Yeah, all right.
But he
Come
should
on.
be
Getting a head job. He's getting a head job.
He's going to be a Patriot, is my guess. If I'm assuming Bill Belichick's
If
out.
Belichick, yeah. Yep.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, two more coaches that are out. Arthur Smith fired from Atlanta.
Thank
Obvious.
God.
Yeah, obvious.
Listen, I don't love that people lose their job, but draft Bijan next year.
Yeah, from a fantasy perspective,
I want Pitts.
Thank
I
goodness.
want London. I want everybody.
So we'll see who they hire, but I'm assuming.
Well, no, new quarterback Justin Fields.
All right.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera fired after 4 seasons with the Commanders as well. I think also one everyone saw coming.
I think though with Ron Rivera, he's accepted. He's a good coach, right?
I think he's respected.
Okay, maybe that's.
I think he's a well-respected coach.
He might retire. He's older.
He might end up somewhere on a staff, as an advisor. Coordinator. No, as a defensive coordinator. He could get be a coordinator somewhere, I think. But
Ron Rivera for defensive coordinator for the Packers.
Yeah, I think his head coaching days are behind him. So just keep it.
Guys.
Yeah.
If the Packers win a playoff game, though, is Joe Barry safe?
No. No.
I'm just
because we'll talk about this here in a minute, but it's Packers win. They're going to have to put up 30, and
we're getting ahead of ourselves, guys. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We have lots of thoughts on that when we get into our playoff brackets.
All right.
So that leaves now for head coaching vacancies: Seahawks, Titans, Falcons, Commanders, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers. 7 vacancies right now. A couple of seats that could open. Bill Belichick, obviously rumors flying around there. There is rumors, though, that reportedly he said he'd be willing to take a step back from the GM responsibilities. And so that could give him another year, maybe. I guess we'll see. But they said they're meeting this week. So that's pretty ominous. We'll see.
Well, they're not going to rush it.
Yeah. Dennis Allen for the Saints, they reportedly say another year he gets.
Matt Eberflus coming back.
Matt Eberflus get another year. They fired their whole offensive staff, but they're keeping Matt Eberflus for another year. So that seat's safe for right now. So, we're talking 7, maybe an 8th that comes available. So lots of coaching stuff.
Just some quick things. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Dan Quinn being promoted to become Seattle's quarterback or head coach. You like that?
No. I don't.
No.
Okay. What about Eric Bieniemy being promoted for Washington?
What did he do this year though to prove that he's the head coach?
Well, he was the Chiefs' whole offensive. Eric Bieniemy.
I think.
I disagree.
I think he gets interviewed. All
right. Does Jim Harbaugh take a job in the NFL?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sadly, I think it's going to be the AFC West.
All right, Jordan.
It's going to be the Chargers.
Jordan, are you done with the news?
I sure am. Yeah, there's other news, but we'll talk about it because it matters.
I have a question for Adam quickly. you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but Adam is a football coach. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. So let me ask you your opinion here, Adam. Let me set the scene for you.
Sure.
All right. The New Orleans Saints are up like 100 on the Falcons. Their head coach.
Unrealistic, but okay.
Okay, whatever it was. Their coach, Dennis Allen, right?
Yep.
Tells them, hey,
yep.
they got a pick the play before, took it back to the 1. And they were like, all right, guys, let's knee the ball, let's be done. They go out there, they backup quarterbacks in, famous Jameis, and he goes, you know what, guys?
Yep.
Let's just hand this ball off to Jamal Williams so he can get a touchdown. If you remember, Jamal Williams had 17 touchdowns last year. Hadn't had one yet. So this is it. This is his last chance. They line up in victory formation and then just hand it off. Score a touchdown. Arthur Smith of the Falcons is pissed.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen is like, hey, that's not what we wanted to do. What do you make of this situation as a coach?
So having been on the losing end of that, where a team tries to run it up, I get Arthur Smith's frustrations, right? I also get that it's the NFL. Stop it. You know, it shouldn't have been 49-17 anyway, or 14, whatever it was. Excuse me. I think it's a low class. I think, Dennis Allen even said it's not our style. I think there is an unwritten rule that you don't try to make someone feel worse by rubbing their nose into it. I wouldn't do it. That's not my style. I'm a competitor. I want to win, but I call the dogs off because I don't want people to feel crappy and people to just realize, okay, I get we suck, and now we suck even more because you just ran for a touchdown.
Okay, but my thought,
I see both sides.
I think this argument of should they do it, that's not really what's interesting to me. My thought is, if Dennis Allen's still the head coach of the Saints and he told his players to do something and they said, no, let's do something else, that's a problem,
right?
Is it not? Like, Shannon Sharp said I would cut Jameis Winston today.
Yeah, and I think Shannon goes off the rails a little bit. I like Shannon Sharp, but I don't view it as a bigger issue. If they did that all the time, sure. Like, if they were going rogue all the time, I think Jameis, he said it right. Like, Jameis actually is well loved in that locker room, and he said, I wanted to get one for my boy there. So I respect his decision to do that, but I would have probably told the head coach, hey, I'm going to try this. At least let the coach on the know.
Yeah.
Because when Arthur Smith was coming at the head coach saying, like, that was effing BS,
yeah.
like,
I think
stuff.
he's mad.
And then Dennis Allen has to be like, okay, I get it. And you can hear it on the audio.
Yeah.
He's like, I get it, Arthur. And Arthur's just like, whatever, screw you. Like,
I think what he's mad about, and what I kind of find not cool about it, is how they did it. Right? You line up in victory formation. Everyone on defense is like, okay, we're not doing anything here. Like, if you want to run it and go get Jamal Williams a touchdown, that's fine. But, like, run a play. Yep. Let the defense run a play. They just kind of stole a touchdown.
To me, that's the actual issue here. I have no issue if they run the score. Like, who cares? It's divisional rival. We're seeing that in the chat, like divisional rival. To me, the big beef here is don't line up in victory formation to do it. That's in poor taste because everyone has an understanding of what you're doing. And I think it is a bad precedent to be like, it's like, let's line up. We're going to get fake QB kneels in the future. Is that like what we're talking about here? No, like, don't do that. Yeah. So that to me is my only beef with it. Otherwise, like, do what you got to do. We can talk about the coaching, like respect players.
It sounds like in the chat people are in agreement. It's Bush League, but I respect it. If you don't like it, stop it. I get it.
Yep.
But
don't lose 48-17.
It was the second quarter and they were up 100 though, and then they kept running up the score. Right, like it was the end of the game. You knew you're going to lose anyway.
It's a bad look for the coach. That's for sure.
Sure is. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. Hit us with the brackets, Jake.
All right. So what we did here is Adam, Jordan, and I we made our own playoff brackets. We'll post them on our Facebook page at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, so you can see them if you're not currently watching. And then we'll also post a blank one as well. So the graphics department made these. Looks pretty good, I would say so myself.
I'll have to let him know. Thanks for saying that, Jake. I'll let him know.
And then you can fill one out too, and just for fun. Why don't we start with Jordan? So Jordan, I brought him up through here. So if you're watching live right now, This is Jordan's playoff bracket here. How do you guys want to go about this? Do you want to kind of go through each game, who we got, or what do you think the best way of doing this?
Yeah,
is,
let me. I'll give you a high level. I'll give you a high level run through.
Hold on. Do we still have Adam?
Yeah.
Are you though, my friend? oh man! All right, keep going.
Okay, so I'll kind of give you a high level rundown of what we're looking at here. So we'll start with the AFC side. I think that the Cleveland Browns experience too much for the Texans. They win that game. I love C.J. Stroud, but I think and he has a successful year no matter which way you look at it. I just don't think they pull it off. Kansas City, Miami. Miami's so hurt. I get it. Kansas City's not doing that well this year, but Miami is just so injured and they're going to play in 0 degrees at Arrowhead. It's going to be a W for the Chiefs. And then Bills, Pittsburgh. Again, the Steelers are just so happy to be in this position. Make it to the playoffs. Mike Tomlin is excellent coach. They got to figure out their quarterback situation. Mason Rudolph is starting, and T.J. Watt is going to be out. W for the Bills. Then it's Ravens, Cleveland. That's the Cinderella story for Cleveland's done. Ravens are so good. Divisional rivalry. I think that's going to be a defensive and ugly matchup. And then Buffalo comes back down to earth. They've won 6 games in a row. At this point, it'll be 7 games in a row. And they got to go play the Chiefs. I get it that the Chiefs aren't doing that well, like in the regular season compared to last year. But playoff Mahomes, give me a break. They're winning. So my AFC Championship game is the Ravens-Chiefs. And again, I can't go against the Chiefs. You got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. You got Taylor Swift magic. They are going to the Super Bowl. I love it. NFC side, Tampa Bay Eagles. Don, this one's for you. Tampa Bay's winning that. The Eagles are in absolute free fall.
Yeah.
They are in absolute
Oh, you're going
free
Tampa?
fall. Yeah, Tampa's Jalen Hurts getting x-rays on his finger. They said there's no fracture, but his throwing finger is hurt. A.J. Brown went down in the last game. It could not be going worse. The juju is just bad for the Eagles right now. On the flip side, the Rams are red hot. I love what the Rams are doing right now. I think Matt Stafford basically going home. It's a home game for Matt Stafford as far as I'm concerned. So
No.
Well,
I think Sean McVay versus Dan Campbell also outcoached. So that's a win there. And then I love the Green Bay Packers with my heart and soul. But this game could be nasty. The Packers defense is so bad, and the Cowboys at home are so good. This could be not a friendly thing. But to me, it's a win-win. I have the Cowboys advancing. They're my Super Bowl champions, as you can see. But if the Packers win, I'll survive. And then divisional round, San Francisco versus LA. That's a divisional matchup. And so that's coin toss as far as I'm concerned. That's the worst case scenario for the 49ers to get the Rams. And so I think, again, the Rams continue their hot streak. And then Dallas versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, again, resounding success. Baker got a bunch of incentives. Love that for him.
Love that for him.
I think Baker's a little bit injured. He was hobbling. I think Mike Parsons is going to feast and they're going to win that game. So Dallas, San Francisco, Dallas, LA, I think with San Francisco out, it goes through Dallas. The home team is going to win. Rams, their Cinderella story is over. And then all eyes will finally be on Dallas, proving the haters wrong, which I hate to say out loud.
Yeah, I know. God, kill me if that happens.
Probably going to be a pick 6 in that game, to be honest. So then it's Dallas, Kansas City, and that's the media's dream. I love it. Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. He finally did it against all odds. Dallas finally shaking off ghosts of Christmas past, and they made it there. And Dak would be a legend with the W, and that's who wins. There it is.
Boom. Wow. What a day. We just keep losing Adam. I don't know if you keep.
That's all right.
I don't know if you know. So I'm just bouncing around here.
He's coming in and out, but
it's all right.
Jake, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So let me pull up Jordan's here. We'll do that and then pull up mine. Just so you can kind
Jamie's in the chat saying Jordan Love's better than Mahomes. I love what you're saying.
Well, that's just,
I disagree,
that's
but I
just
love what
not
you're saying.
True. I'm so sorry, but all right. So mine's kind of on the bottom here. We're pretty similar, I would say. Pretty similar. I think the big thing here is I have Houston winning this game. the offense is just that good. I think that's kind of my thing, and I don't know. I'm always someone who feels like like Joe Flacco's on the couch for a reason. I get that it's working, right? But Adam just messaged us and said this is not good. Yeah, but oh, he's jumped back in. All right, this is fun.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're good. So we're just kind of talking the difference. I just think CJ Stroud gets it done. I think that's the big thing here. Just the better offense in my opinion right now, and I think Nico Collins is just a monster. And I've talked about that before, how much I love some Nico Collins. So that's just one of the big differences I have. We each have. I'm trying to look here.
Well,
go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. Coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. I will die on that hill. And that defense. You kidding me? CJ Stroud hasn't seen that all year. Well, they played, I think, but still, I mean, it's just. I think the Browns defense gets it done. Steady Joe Flacco, old man Joe gets it done. I just think it's too good of a story.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's so good of a story. I don't think it matters because neither of these teams are getting out of the second round.
Right.
Yeah, whoever they play.
So I think the biggest difference that, if I can pause Jordan's side of things here and show Adam's. So Adam and I have the exact same Super Bowl matchup.
One versus one.
Yes,
so exciting.
they're the two best teams in the NFL. And I think that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want the two best teams in the NFL to play. I
believe in something.
Neither of us have Green Bay winning, unfortunately.
I will not believe in the Cowboys.
Yeah, you have them losing to Detroit.
I do. Go Lions, baby.
And then you have Detroit in the NFC Championship. Why do you feel like Detroit has a shot at that?
Because it's Detroit versus the world. It's Dan Campbell biting off kneecaps versus the world. I have been a Dan Campbell supporter since he got hired, baby. And I'm all about those impassioned speeches. I'm all about Jared Goff slinging it to those guys. Give me Detroit, baby.
Why don't we... all right, then why don't you talk more? I'll even bring yours up on its own. You have the Browns in the AFC Championship. Talk about that.
Yeah, no, so when I said they don't get by the first round, that's a lie. Hey, too good of a story. One of the best coaches in the NFL. I'll stand on that hill and die. And the best defense, arguably in the playoff race. I think that they're going to mix great balance, run and pass. I think that Joe Flacco is going to get that playoff magic, and I just think they got what it takes. I do. You look at they beat Houston, then they play a Buffalo team that Denver beat. Are you kidding me? If Denver can beat Buffalo in Buffalo, the Browns can beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I don't care. And then they run into a steamroller and lose to the Baltimore Ravens in the championship. So that's how I feel.
Just think of the storylines there. AFC Championship, yeah. Joe Flacco against the Ravens. I love that.
Hollywood.
Looking at the chat, Joey says Dolphins over the Chiefs, Browns over Texans, Bills over Steelers. Do you guys think the Steelers have any shot at this over the Bills?
Of course they do, because you can never know what could happen. The Bills are, to me, the highs are so high and the lows are pretty darn low. They lost to the Jets, don't forget.
That's true.
But Miami can't play in the cold either.
That's true. So, Adam, we both have Baltimore, San Francisco. I think they're the two best teams in the NFL. You have San Francisco, I have Baltimore. What's the tiebreaker for you? So, for me, it's the quarterback. Lamar Jackson's been the best player in the NFL all year. And... But on the flip side, on San Francisco, that would be such a good game. That's why I love it. It'd just be such a good game. They got CMC, so what do you think?
I think that the Niners are just too balanced. I mean, Purdy's not going to be asked to do a ton. When he's been asked to do a ton, he throws picks. They've got better defense. They've got better weapons offensively, stay within the system. And I think Kyle Shanahan's the determining factor for me. I love John Harbaugh. I do. But I also love that Kyle Shanahan knows how to whisper those quarterbacks.
Yeah. Guys, the Ravens got Dalvin Cook now.
Oh, look out!
And wide receiver 2, Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh my God, that's why I want them to lose.
Zach asks, why does everyone think the Cowboys are so good? They lost to the Cardinals. I think you can't look into these. Like, yeah, but a lot of teams have a bad loss. He said, and we already watched the Ravens versus 49ers. The Ravens beat the brakes off the Niners. I think it would just be better.
Hey,
I don't think Kyle Shanahan lets that happen twice.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
I have a question for Zach.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Cowboys at home, Zach Piper?
That's to
Doesn't
me.
matter
That's
who they play at home, buddy. Doesn't matter.
I mean, they can.
If the Eagles would have won the division and Cowboys would be on the road, I would probably have them losing in the first round. But the fact that they stay at home for the majority of the playoffs is what, to me, is.
I mean, they have the inside track. If San Francisco were to take an L, that they'd be home all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and I think that's just such a big deal. They're just automatic. Just previewing games, guys. Is there any way the Packers win this game?
Yeah, if they score 46 points.
46 points.
Yeah. Realistically, they could only win a shootout.
Yeah.
If they can run up a bunch of points, that's the secret sauce there, because the defense isn't going to stop.
Zach in the chat says Packers are also undefeated at Dallas Stadium. That doesn't matter at all. Joey says Ravens over Cowboys in the Super Bowl. And Zach says Packers win against Dallas 24-17.
Wow.
Joe Barry is not losing his job if that happens. So
that's true. But yeah, I think that one could be a crazy one. I think the other big upset. Actually, in any of these scenarios, I think each of us called one could go over the other other than this 2 sevens. We know neither of us called the 7 over the 2.
No. So.
In any of our brackets.
All right, guys, there's our little preview. Kind of fun to do something. Joey says Dallas over Packers 41-17. Kind of fun to do it. A little just football related, right? Next week we'll be back. We're gonna keep talking playoffs, and then we're gonna do our book it episode. So if you guys remember, if you've been along with the ride, we've made some bold declarations, if you will. And let's just say mine didn't turn out well so far. So we're going to kind of do that. It's going to be fun. So we hope you guys will be there with us. It'll be next Wednesday, 6:30 Central Time, live on YouTube, youtube.com/Next Fantasy Football Podcast. We have Facebook if you want to check us out there. Facebook, same name. And then we have a survey. Fill that out for us. Any feedback is great. And it helps us get better. And we're giving away a signed Jarrett Stidham jersey. So that's exciting. Jordan, we lost Adam here in the last second. He messaged us and said, tell the people I say goodbye. So we appreciate Adam hanging around, making the effort. So he says goodbye to you guys. Jordan, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Tune in next week for the book it. I'm just over here on the side looking at some of these suckers date back to March 2023. And boy, oh boy, are there some ones. There are some that are just shocking that we even believed it. And then there are some that are just right on the money.
Yeah, I don't think I have
just
any of
right
those.
On the money. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. We'll be back next week. And until then, take care. Be good.